Okay.
And I'm going to see if this is indeed Ken.
Hi, Andy.
Hey, how are you, John?
I'm well. Good.
Let's see here. Okay. 9654. Nope, that's Aaron. Okay. 940 is the one I'm looking for.
I have two computers here and I keep grabbing the wrong mouse and not understanding why I can't do what I want to do. It's not working.
No.
I hear you. Hello again, Andy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Martha, before we start, I just wanted to let you know I've prepared that assignment assumption for Gearholt. So I'll send it over to you to look at. I mean, it's pretty well set. We will need to just add it. We'll decide when we're going to do it.
Okay.
And we'll need to add the amount as of kind of that day. So it's
Gotcha.
clear they're assuming, but that's basically it. It should be
Good.
pretty
Thank
straightforward.
you.
And my thought is we'll do I could have you guys do it. You'll do a letter to them that basically says, you know, that the lien to them has been, you know, there's nothing due, if you will, so that they can go to DMV and get the title switched, because they're going to want to see that.
Okay.
But our agreement says they're going to transfer it. So
Thank you.
Left. Yeah.
Lisa, who
Yes,
is not going to be here?
Dave will not. Seth will not. And Brian will not. Sorry, Brian just messaged me too. So it's going to be you, Ken, and Sarah.
And Sarah's not on yet.
Sarah's not on yet, and neither's Ken.
Okay.
Sarah's now on.
Hi,
So
Sarah.
we're just going to wait for Ken, and Ken's going to show up as a phone number. It ends in 4940, if that helps.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody else. I don't mean to just exclude everybody, but it's been one of those mornings.
Still catching up on my breakfast here.
What are we having, Sarah?
Love the cup, Sarah.
Oh, yeah. Martha.
Yeah?
Do you recognize this? This is my favorite cup. I don't know if you.
I
Martha
love
gave
it.
this to me years ago, and it's by this English company that I have other their cups. But this is my absolute favorite with all these parakeets on it.
Oh, I'm happy to know that.
And I think of you every time I drink out of it.
That's so nice.
Well, I think we're a little bit past time. Lisa, I haven't seen Ken come on yet, but I think we can probably.
Ken just got on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry, I'm late.
No, don't. We're happy you're here.
Okay, so we'll open the meeting and we'll start with the minutes and ask that we have a motion. If everybody's read the minutes, or the two of you have read the minutes, let me put it that way. If we can have a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make the motion.
And Ken, can I have a second from you?
Seconded, yes.
Fine. And are you all in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, just so you know, Sarah and Ken, you're the only two other members of the committee, so you are the quorum.
Okay.
Dave can't make it. Is Dave coming on or not?
No.
Okay.
No. So
All right.
it,
Well, hang
okay,
in there, make it short for Ken.
right. Martha, is there do you want to move on to the loans themselves? Ken is maybe in and out because of the phone connection.
I'm sitting still, so I should have solidness here. So go ahead.
Okay, do you want to do the portfolio review first, or do you want to do the loans first?
The portfolio review will be quick. The review that you saw was dated January 6th, and everybody was current. Since that time, I just looked at a report dated today, and the pond is 1 month behind on their loan payment. We received a payment in January, but we didn't receive one in December. And we're always concerned when people get behind, but I'll be in touch with them.
Sure. Okay, does anybody have any questions about the portfolio review?
No,
If
No.
not, I'll accept the motion on that.
motion.
I'll make the motion. Seconded.
You pick.
Okay, all in favor?
Ken, we can all.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, alternate, Sarah. Yes.
All right.
The discharge duties, Lisa, I'm guessing that this is just, like the others, this is just what we did this past year.
Correct.
Motion
And-
to approve.
And can I have a second from you, Ken?
Seconded. Yep.
And all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, the charter, Lisa, again, I'm going to ask you, is this charter, has there been any changes since last year?
No changes.
Okay, with no changes to our charter, can I have a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
And all in favor, please?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now, Martha, the ROI Digital Consulting, did we get the loan information from them? Or the financials?
So we ended up having to postpone that one until February.
Okay, fine. Do you want to move on to the Hudson Roastery?
Yes, Hudson Roastery, thank you, John. Carolyn Palmieri, I've had the pleasure of working with her for the past several months on this project. She and her husband moved to Hudson well, they purchased a home here in 2017, and they have since moved here full time. They started selling their custom roasted coffees, both whole bean and ground, at the Hudson Farmers Market. Their coffee is organic and fair trade. They sell both wholesale and retail, and they have an online ordering system. They're now ready to open their retail shop, which is on Park Place. They've been working diligently to make those bathrooms handicap accessible, and they are working with Chad at Taconic Engineering to make sure everything is done correctly. They will also be selling in the shop coffee, of course, to have there or to take with you. They'll be selling pastries and baked goods, and also charcuterie, and they have applied already for their beer and wine license. The principals are both experienced professionals. They've been working toward this for quite some time. Tony Calderon will be keeping his job. He's in sales with Chef's Warehouse, and he works in the New York metropolitan area and has terrific connections to restaurants. So they're hoping that their coffee will be sold in some of those well-known restaurants. The total budget for this project is $132,000. They're getting $50,000 from CEDC, 25 of which will be an SBA microloan, and 25 of which will be a CEDC loan. The interest rate is 3 3/4%, and both loans have a 6-year term. We will have a first lien on all of the business assets, and of course, a personal guarantee from the principals. Their original opening date was, they were hoping for February. Now it looks like it's been pushed back to March. They're waiting for their CO from the building inspector in Hudson. He seems to be running a little bit behind. I don't think they'll have any difficulty getting their permit from the health department because there will be no cooking on premises. It's basically just serving prepared foods.
Mhm.
Does anyone have any questions?
Well, I love them.
That's
They-
No.
they were neighbors of my daughter, you know, they started out and they started the farmer's market and they work so hard and, you know, they describe the guy punches the ear off every time he goes to cup some coffee. And I'm just very pleased to watch their progress. And I think they'll be a great addition to, I think when the second coffee store opened in Hudson, I couldn't believe we could have two in town. And now I don't know how many we have, but I think they'll do very well. I like their whole business prospectus. So I'm definitely, I think they're a good fit.
A good location.
All right.
Yeah, I think the location, because that part of Hudson is a little slow to develop. And because they're going to have outside seating up there, that it will add to the neighborhood. I have to go walk by. Is that where the hair salon was?
right next door.
Okay.
I think there was a dance studio in there.
Okay, the dance studio.
All right. You
Okay.
need a motion then?
As long as there's no other discussion, I was looking at the payments per month. They seem to be reasonable. And with their experience, I think, and the time that they put into it already, I think it's a fairly safe loan. Obviously, working with restaurants at this time is kind of tough. Who knows, but with-
A lot of people are going to this takeout model like this, like you can pick it up and take it out. It's not so much sitting there all the time.
sure. And Martha, the SBA, have we heard any more on the possibility of holding off the loans for a while?
I'm glad you brought that up, John. I received an SBA procedural notice today relating to SBA microloans, and they say that microloans closed beginning on February 1st will receive payments of principal and interest for the first 6 months of the loan term.
Okay, so that's something that, and I'm guessing if they need to, they'll be able to take advantage of that. So there's a little bit, there's 6 months of reprieve that we don't have to worry about.
On the SBA side, that's correct.
On the SBA side,
Right.
absolutely.
And
Oh.
Martha, I took a quick look at the same notice, but which just came in at 9:25. But what is the status for existing loans?
Understanding is that unless they are currently in deferment, they will not get that 8 months of additional payments from the SBA. And I don't think we have any SBA loans currently in deferment.
Right.
So that's very disappointing. But however, they did specify that for loans closed between the end of March and the end of September, and we made 18 loans in that period, they will receive a second round of funding if the SBA determines there are sufficient funds. So we're just not going to know for some time.
Okay.
So anyone that has a loan with us prior to February or March of last year are not, there's no deferment on the table for them at all. Anyone that closed a loan from March till February of this year may get it if they have sufficient funds.
March through September.
Yeah.
Correct. And to be honest, I've already spoken to 2 clients who are looking for relief. So we can offer them a deferment period of up to 6 months, but the SBA would not be making payments on their behalf.
Okay. Well, that's for another meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, that brings up a question. Now, I noticed their mortgages are in deferment. Can you speak on that, Martha?
That was also offered under the CARES Act, and many of our clients took advantage of that. I think that was also a 6-month deferment period, and then they have to start making their loan
Okay.
payments. Yeah.
Okay. Sarah or Ken, do you have any other questions about this? Any other concerns?
Nope, sounds good to me.
I wish Seth were here to go over give us the skinny on the paperwork, but I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Seconded.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, fine. Then they're in business. Sounds good.
Thank you. This
and-
also has to go to the full board.
Oh, yeah.
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 And we can move on to, was it Wildy?
Wild Hudson, yes.
Wild? Okay.
This is another coffee-focused business, but with some major differences. And Lauren has been working with Hillary France on this, and I've asked her to do the presentation.
Yeah,
Good.
thanks, Martha. Yes, so last July of 2020, Hillary France, who's the principal of Wild Hudson, she took over the space on the corner of South 3rd and Union, where Ore Bar used to be. And she has this vision of a very warm, welcoming spot where locals and visitors can come in, grab a coffee, browse some locally made goods, or just sit down, with their laptop and get some work done. Wild Hudson, she really envisions and has developed it as a hybrid business. So it is one part membership-based co-working space. It's one part coffee shop, serving high quality coffee from Irving Farm. And it's one part retail market, where she's going to feature artisan made goods and clothing. You may be kind of thinking, all right, how does that hybrid model work operationally? Well, weekdays from 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m., Wild is going to be open to members as a co-working space. The coffee will be flowing, laptops are open, and this for her creates a steady revenue stream based on those memberships. Weekday mornings from 7:30 to 9:30, and all weekend, so all day Saturday and Sunday, Wild is going to be open to passersby to just pop in, have a coffee, grab a pastry, have a little conversation community. And this is taking advantage, of course, of that increased foot traffic that we see in Hudson on the weekend. Her membership model is tiered. So as you may have seen in the write-up, she has sort of 4 ways to be a member. There's the local membership, which is unlimited access. You can come in every day. She's got an upstater membership, which is 8 days a month. She has a passing through, which is really just a 1-day pass. And you can also be a virtual member, which is essentially having your creative or professional profile kind of featured as part of the online network, and also some access to online events that she's going to be hosting. She will also have a programming calendar of speakers, panels, workshops, and that's going to kind of help her drive awareness and also publicity. One of the big insights that really drove her vision is the fact that Columbia County, after Brooklyn, Columbia County is actually the second biggest, has the second biggest freelance and creative population in New York State. And on top of that, of course, there's just been this huge surge in new residents in and around Hudson and the county this year. So, both kind of gig freelance workers as well as full-timers who are working from home, maybe kind of feeling isolated and really looking for some community and a place to connect with others. Ms. France, Hillary, she's definitely no stranger to entrepreneurialism. She started her own business in 2013, been running it for 8 years, currently has an annual revenue of over $3.5 million. She also mentors design entrepreneurs in New York City. In terms of the financials, she is looking to do, well, I won't get into too much detail with the financials unless we want to, I guess. but she's made a significant personal investment to date, close to 30,000 into this business, painting and minor building improvements. She, similar to Hudson Roastery, she's working on the limited food permit with the health department. That's in the works. She's also working with Craig at Code Enforcement. She's been approved for the certificate of occupancy. She's just waiting to receive it. Her total startup costs are estimated at 150,000. She's looking for 50,000, which would be a combination of a $25,000 SBA microloan and $25,000 CEDC loan. This is to cover equipment and retail inventory. The balance of that 150 startup cost will be coming from a line of credit she's also applied for, and personal investment. She owns 2 homes, one of which is her home on Warren Street here in Hudson, where she's lived for 4 years. One of the things that Martha and I have felt about Hillary, and after speaking with her and looking through, all her information and her assets, is, not only is she a proven entrepreneur, she's invested significant personal assets. She's got a very robust business plan. If you may or may not have had the time to take a look, but it's actually a pleasure to read through. And one of the other things about Hillary is she's very well connected in the community. She really has a following around here, and we think that'll really help her in many ways. Over 3 years, she's projecting hiring 2 full-time workers and up to 4 part-time workers. And because she's got this multi-dimensional business, we feel she feels, will be able to kind of lean into one aspect over another, or pivot a little bit if she needs to. And overall, she's just got a ton of passion. It exudes from her, and it's exciting to see.
Well,
Thanks,
welcome
Lauren.
to the group, Lauren. I think you could sell ice cream to the Eskimos.
Thank you.
That was a wonderful presentation.
It certainly was. I have no problems with this. I think that she may be a little optimistic on her membership. I don't know. $350 a month for full membership seems like an expensive venture for most people to go and sit and have coffee and use your laptop. But what do I know? I will say this, that and this is just a personal thing. I grew up in Brooklyn and left there as a late teenager. My dad had always said that Hudson reminded him of Brooklyn in the 30s. The architecture, just the way everything was set up reminded him of Brooklyn in the 30s. So, and it hasn't changed. So I do see that. I think that there is a population that will definitely take advantage of this. The membership model, I'm not sure. That to me is something that would we'd have to see that over time. But that's her problem, not mine, not ours.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I would also add, if it's helpful to note, she doesn't, she's not expecting to take a salary in the first year. She will be living on her salary from the 8-year business that she's still running, Brand Assembly. And she's really all in and willing. She's excited to kind of roll the dice on this and feeling confident. And her numbers, Martha and I actually worked with her. Her first round of numbers, we felt were maybe like a little bit overly optimistic. She's brought them down a bit. And she feels she's been a bit conservative. She's based a lot of her projections on how she's seen these other businesses. Frankly, I think it's friends of hers who own shops on Warren Street. So it's, the foot traffic, but she's really only kind of taking half of what they've done.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny how
All right.
we may be becoming, the caffeine capital of the world here in Hudson, but that's okay. That's okay. Sarah, you have anything that you'd like to add?
Yeah, I have a lot of comments on this one.
Good.
Because I live close to Orbar before. I'm now a couple of blocks away, but I think that I don't know. I've got a lot of red flags up about this. I have to admit I've never met her, but just in the first the page with all the photographs on it, she's taken appropriated some very well-known artwork and put it up kind of as hers, which I don't like. And then she goes on about this caffeine every minute. It's like this caffeine is a drug. And of how I've just had to give up caffeine myself. So I kind of like, she's pushing it as this drug. Everything is caffeine. And then on the page with all the triangles, she really puts down every other business in town. A lot of them are my good friends. She says all the other caffeine places in town are too small, too this, too something too expensive. And I feel that that's not neighborly when you're promoting yourself when you haven't even opened, and put down my friends who are struggling and been here a long time. I mean, Supernatural's been here for years. Now, they didn't just open. And then I really wish we had Seth for these figures. I mean, I'm sure she's going to open this and I will vote to pass it forward. But I just, and we already have one of these. It's not, way back when we were promoting maker spaces. I don't think anybody else is on this call when Ken Flood was here, but maker spaces kind of never quite take off. And there's one, right, I can't think of the name of it, on Warren Street right now that opened kind of just before COVID with the same business model of, you pay hundreds of dollars a year for your membership. And I basically never see anybody in there. Of course, now it's COVID. I don't know how they're doing. So I'll just watch this one. Okay. But I see a lot of red flags, and then I think her business, what she thinks she's going to be making is way out of line with the other figures I see for Hudson. But I think she's connected with Basilica a little bit. I'm not sure because they had a big craft fair out there.
Yeah, she and she also had a partnership during the open streets with Hudson Hall.
Yeah.
And did sort of a maker market with them.
Yeah, she's on Hudson Hall's board, and certainly we will let her know that she needs to give credit on those photographs that she used in her plan.
For sure.
Yeah, we thought her projections, especially for years 2 and 3, were overly optimistic. For year 2, she's predicting sort of this pent-up surge for people that want to get out and do things outside of their home. And I do think there is a need for people who are now up here full-time and are working from home, to have a space and maybe can't afford their own office, but need to be away from their children who are being schooled at home. But I think the strength of her personal guarantee also does mean something. She does have assets. Yeah. And if she's not able to take the salary she projects in year 2 or 3, it appears that she is still able to meet her personal obligations.
Yeah.
All right. I got a question.
Yes.
Did somebody, I'm not sure, but did somebody say that the membership is going to cost you $350 a month? Or is it $350 a year?
$350 a month if you want to have access every day of the month. She has another level of membership where you would just have access 8 days per month.
So it's sort of like renting a co-office or something.
Correct. It's, this is really the fusion of it's a co-working space, but it's a coffee shop, and it's this retail, sort of artisan shop market combined as well.
Okay. All right. That,
I see that there are.
I think I'm,
Go ahead, Ken.
go ahead, sir.
She does mention, I think this is a model that's up and coming. And she mentions a couple other spots in other town cities, but I
She
didn't
does, yes.
have a chance to look them up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm with you, Ken. I can't believe anybody would pay this much to be it.
I mean, in this, right now with everything that's going on, to pay $350 a month to have full access to her, just to go down there and have a cup of coffee in the Danish, seems a little steep to me for our area. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but I mean, I'm in business myself, and I'm, you know, it ain't the easiest of times here. So I got some reservations on it, but I think like Sarah said, I'll vote to approve this. Then we'll have to just see how she goes.
Yeah.
Oh, put it up to the full board, pass it up to the full board.
Yeah, pass it on up to the full board is right. All right.
Okay. Lauren, do you know if with the space where she's going to allow people to, the membership people to come in and work from there, is she going to be offering any equipment? Can you go in and use a copier and a scanner, or is there going to be anything, or are you just going to bring in your laptop and work that way?
From what we understand, it's the idea is come in, when you're the member, you come in, the Wi-Fi is free flowing, as is the drip coffee. That's a good question. We can ask her about that. Is there a common printer and scanner capability? That's a good detail. She hasn't made that clear.
The other place.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Sarah.
The other place was offering a conference room, where you could actually meet with clients in a private space, and or is pretty well, it's open at this time. Maybe she's going to construct something like that.
Yeah, we can ask her about that too. I believe she was going to have at least some little space, like one of these little kind of phone booth, a little room where you could have a private conversation or a call. But we'll ask her both those questions.
Yeah, it just, I don't want to tell her how to run her business, but it seems like that would be a little perk that, for $350 a month, it would be nice.
I can't believe I'm too old fashioned, I think. Ken, I interrupted you before.
Ken, was there anything?
No, if you want, I'll make the motion to approve this to pass it on to the full board.
That's fine.
I'll second with reservations, but.
Okay. Having a motion and a second, I'll ask, is anyone, all in favor? I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And anyone opposed? Fine. Then we will move on to that one. Let's see, where am I here? Does anyone have anything else that they would like to bring up to the loan committee?
I don't have anything myself.
I did have one thing, Dave.
Michael, I can always count on you.
Dave Finger asked me to see if we could consider moving this meeting to another day than Wednesday at 9:30. I don't know what options we have, but he just emailed me about that. What I think we should do is Lisa and I can take a look at it, and then if there is an option, does anyone have any preferences? Would it be better to have this at 8:30 on another day rather than back to back with other committee meetings?
I think we need participants. I know this is kind of always a problem, and Brian Stickles part of the time is on whoever's getting the loan. He has to recuse himself a lot. And we moved this one after the governance and nominating so we could just put them all together. So, but if Dave can't make it, then we need to consider other options.
All right, I brought it up as he asked, and we'll look at options and report back to you.
Okay, thank you.
In honesty, it would make it a little easier for me too, because I'm tied up with 2 meetings here trying to get to them at least. I know I've been having trouble getting through to it, but I've got through today. But it's ties me up quite a bit too, and especially being behind on my work like I am right now, being sick. So if we could change just one of them, at least it'd be better for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm, either way is fine for me.
And as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty flexible, so. Okay, I didn't see anybody from the public, but I will ask if anybody is from the public is on and would like to have anything to say. I would accept that right now. Not hearing that and not having anyone else with comments, I will accept the motion to close the meeting.
Motion made.
Second,
Thank you all
Okay.
very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Have
Have
a great,
a good one.
bye,
Yep.
everybody.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, John.
See ya, kiddo.
Have a good day.
You too.
I'm cutting you off.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, bye.
Bye.